trees, torch.
Why should a teacher teach about climate science? The science is irrefutable, with tens of thousands of studies and papers by reputable scientists that show that the Earth is warming, resulting in climate change. Rising sea levels, warmer oceans, and melting ice caps can seem distant to kids. So how do teachers make the science relatable?
There's a lot of dry grass and stuff coming across there, which does the initial start on the fuel.
You all have your courses you teach, and in your courses there are concepts of science that may seem a little dry and abstract to your kids, and you do your best to try to make them relevant.
Teachers are participating in seminars, leadership trainings, and workshops to better understand the science.
And there were drought concerns for nearly half of the state at the time.
And how to make it relevant to students' lives. Ken Wilkinson, a science teacher and avid outdoorsman, sees a local connection.
We had to walk a half a mile from camp to get water because of the drought, and the elk didn't have calves that year. So that's why we're down in elk numbers. It was all related to the drought.
So what do you guys know about heat? What does heat do?
Right on the fire line of recent and numerous forest fires is Chelan County Fire District's Jon Riley. It's his job to educate the public on reducing fire hazards in the region with smart construction materials and methods.
Because it's so dry. I think in the coming years, we're going to see an increase in the severity and the duration of our wildfire season. And so building construction is one of the ways that we can manage the risk of wildfire coming to our community.
Wildfire in particular is something that almost every kid in this valley has a pretty personal experience with. Sometimes I'll have kids raise their hand and say, how many people have been evacuated or know somebody who's been evacuated? And almost every kid at least knows someone who's been evacuated because of a wildfire.
That was one of the big things that I really enjoyed today is that we talked about the Okanagan fires and how that impacted our sports, how it impacted a lot of different things that we did. And so trying to bring that home to the students is really critically important to make that connection.
And I'd like you to update
in Vancouver, Washington, teachers are learning about the ill effects of climate change on human health. The Professional Development Seminar, led by Washington Green Schools and facilitated by ESD 112, had teachers venturing out into the community to monitor air quality and check for particulate matter in the air.
It just deals with, again, like how many cars are going in and out of here.
The teachers, I think, are struggling a little bit with understanding how to address those topics in the classroom with their students. And so through these professional development opportunities, we are helping them grapple with some of the complex data to deepen their personal understanding of climate change, and then help them think about ways they can bring these learning activities into the classroom for their students.
We have a lot of students with asthma and other health problems that are exacerbated by pollution and other things associated with climate change. And then I have skin cancer in my family, and that's something I can talk about with my kids.
As teachers increase their knowledge of climate science and the effects on human as well as the planet's health, they can bring that knowledge into the classroom and not only teach the science, but relate it back to their own students' lives.
A lot of times as teachers, we don't get the opportunity to sit with a scientist and ask questions to deepen our own understanding of what's happening and impacts and how do we analyze the data. And so having a room of teachers, from kindergarten teachers through high school, who can have conversations with one another about how we bring this back for our students, what that learning looks like in the classrooms, has been really powerful.